So this video is a replay in the daily race C, Daytona. As you can see, qualified 15th, but I won't ruin the ending completely, but we do end up on the podium. So yeah, just in the RX Vision GT, which was part of the digital pre-order. I'm not too sure if it was part of the physical pre-order, but it's part of the digital pre-order. So if you digitally pre-ordered the game, you've got this car. So just coming into turn one here, running a little bit wide. Most people are running the Audi R8. Still got a few 911s here. The person behind is got the Supra, which I've had one race in the Supra. It doesn't work very well. You have to fuel save so much, and it's relatively slow compared to the other cars. But just already up a couple of positions. A couple of people spun out on the second corner. A couple of people falling back in front. Looks like they're going slow. A couple of people ghosted out. So looking like sort of making time up. And looks like I've got the run on this German in the Audi, but those Audis are quite fast. So just slipstreaming now. I've got the tuning set up at the end of the video. So yeah, this video just shows what you can do with that setup, and we'll go over the setup at the end. But just finding the braking point for the bus stop area. Just going around. It's up to 12th now, which is quite good. Someone else has spun out, so up to 11th. Just need to make sure you go across onto the banking, because you can get penalties back there, unfortunately. Well, I seem to get some penalties, half a second here and there, but you'll see later in the race. But just slipstreaming this 911. Finding the braking point, which is the last sort of white dashed line. There's a little flag marker on the side that you can use. Unfortunately, I think this Audi thinks it was me that rammed into him, and is just trying to sideswipe me all the time. Unfortunately, it was the other RX. Yeah, the one in front gets a penalty. I think that Porsche actually hit into that RX, then went into the R8, but then tried to have some revenge on me. Anyway, it happens. Taking this corner quite nicely. There's a little bit of tarmac back there that you can use as a braking point. Someone else off the track, so up to 7th now, 8 seconds behind the leader. Go down to the second. Just try and straighten up as fast as I can, just to get onto this banking at the back of the track. Lost a bit of time to the car in front, but running nicely, considering I started 15th and now up to 7th. I think that's a pretty good return after a couple of laps. So finding the braking point, which is in between the 2 and the 1 board, and that 911 just goes straight off into the barrier. So yeah, another position gained up to 6th. There's not really a lot you can do on this banking. I find that taking the inside line is usually better for me, at least. It just shortens the track. Got a couple up here that seem to have hit a penalty. They must have been pretty big penalties if they're still ghosted out near the start-finish line. But yeah, just heading into the 4th lap now. So just going a bit forward to the end of lap 4. So as you can see, the fuel savers came on. I've got 1.2, 1.1 laps remaining, coming on to the 5th lap. So yeah, just I haven't really fuel saved at all. During the opening scene as such, when the cars are on the grid, knock it down to 6. Because it's just unnecessary. You know, engine revving and everything that you don't have control of, and then as soon as you go over the line, just put it into 1, which I've done this whole race. I haven't fuel saved. I've got it on 1 fuel mixture, and I'm just burning through the fuel. I think if I was to do this race again in the RX, what I would do is I would probably knock it down to fuel mixture 2 and just leave it on fuel mixture 2 for the entirety of the race. You could play around with it, but I think you need to pit anyway. You have to have a pit stop, so you know, a couple of seconds in the pit lane refueling. I'm sure you'd make that up, more than make that up, by actually racing fully rather than, you know, having fuel mixture 6. Obviously, if you've got an opportunity to knock it down when you're slipstreaming, by all means. But I think if I was to run this race again, I would just leave it in fuel mixture 2. So heading into the pit lane now, just watch the car in front, what it does. It crosses that white line to the left-hand side. It will get a penalty from that. And I don't change the tyres, so I'm going to save a few seconds. I believe that the Swiss person as well, that pitted in front of me, I don't think they changed their tyres either, because we come out at pretty much the same point. So I think it is a strategy you could do, especially since you're on hards. But with the tyre multiplication for this race, you are sort of doing over. You have to imagine doing over sort of 100 or so laps on these tyres. That's what it's going through. But anyway, just finished refueling, up to 98% of the fuel. A little under fueled from maximum. I did just want to get a couple of temps to try and leapfrog this Swiss person, but as you can see, they've come out still in front, but with that 3-second penalty you get for crossing that white line. Not too sure what it was thinking. May have just been trying to break my toe going into the pit lane. But yeah, it's got a 3-second penalty. So we just need to sort of stay on its tail and get past it when it serves the penalty. We're up to 4th now, which is really good. I think a lot of people, at least in these lobbies, these B lobbies, I think a lot of people change tyres, refuel to sort of maximum. So I think if you are in a B lobby, I think you could get a lot of time by not changing tyres, by fueling a little bit under. As I said, if I was to run this race again, I would just put on fuel save 2, but get a small penalty there. I think that was sort of the turn 3 in that bus stop set of chicanes. It's a half-second penalty. Considering the cut you can do on that last bit of the bus stop, to get a half-second penalty on the third bit is a bit annoying. But we're up to 3rd, coming into lap 7. So we rejoin at lap 8, 15 seconds behind. As you can see, the tyre wear is getting a little bit too much here, and I'm wiggling. The tyres are squirming all over the place. Get another half-second penalty on that last chicane. So yeah, this is the only thing you need to consider. As you can see from my lap times, they're a little bit inconsistent everywhere. But we're getting sort of 150 ones, which we were doing at the start of the race. So when you do start running the fuel down, the car will get lighter and faster, but obviously you're on worse tyres. So in addition to like running fuel save 2, I think if I did this race again, I would probably change the tyres. So just starting the last lap, and I've got 1.3 laps of fuel left. So this car really can do the fuel saving quite easily. We'll just leave it on board for the last lap. We've got the sort of little track guide, I suppose. What I brake for is about the third white dash in that middle of the track. Turn in, stay on the inside. You can use the curbing over on the left hand side. I don't. You have to remember I've got a lot of tyre wear for this lap, so this is usually flat, and then you're wanting to brake sort of just when that dark bit of tarmac goes out of your vision. Again, another corner you want to take on the inside. Coming up to this left-hander, most important thing is to brake with when you see those cones, and you want to get straight when you go out that corner, because you've got a very long straight here and you just want to get the power down. I do have traction control on too, so the traction control will stop me sort of spinning the wheels too much, but yeah, just try and straighten up. For this bus stop set of chicanes, so you've got the third marker, you've got the 2 marker, and then there's a little flag warning right there. So as I said, the tyres are quite worn, but take that quite smoothly considering the tyre wear. But I have no idea where I got that half-second penalty from. No idea. Taking the inside lane on this final corner, I do find this is usually the better line to take, especially if there's no one in front to try and slipstream. Take a quick look back. There's quite a bit of distance, but that car behind it is gaining very quickly. But we're over the line in third. So yeah, really good race in the RX. It can fuel save quite easily. You don't have to put too much thought and effort into actually fuel saving. Tyre strategy is up to you. If I did change the tyres, it would have added about 4 seconds. I would have come fourth. So it has helped me go up to third without not changing the tyres. We've got the Minardi helmet. But anyway, and race suit on as well. But this is the setup. Racing hard's obviously just for the requirements. This is there's another video from someone on YouTube, Harmonix, I think it is, and essentially it is just a copy and paste of that one. And you can really do it in this car. I've got the brake balance to -2. I do like the brakes a little bit to the front, but not too much. And yeah, that's the setup. So yeah, really good race. It can be done in the RX.